Ryan Murphy, welcome, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me here.
What needed to change in your life for you to become one of the best agents in Logan?
Wow. Starting it off like that, eh?
That's all we did.
To be honest, it was just caring a little bit. Like real estate, I don't think is very hard.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we don't do a very big course to get into this career at the beginning. But I just think coming down to just caring a little bit, that really, really shows because there's not many that do.
Definitely. Is that the kind of person you are? Do you have a caring nature? Does that come easily to you?
I'm a chronic overthinker, and sometimes that comes with good things and bad things. But when you're always in like a sales job, in terms of following up and making sure that they know everything that you do, the overthinking actually kind of helps. So it's like, I put it down to that, but it is care. It's a massive care factor.
And it's, you spend more time caring for your buyers, your sellers, the people working with you? Like
pretty much all the same. We're all people. We're all humans. We're all on the same mission. At the end of the day, that buyer might become a seller in a couple of years. So give them the same.
Love it. Love it. So what are you thinking about when you say you're overthinking?
Everything. Real estate is never ending. There's always something to think about, right? You know this.
Yeah.
There's always something else that you can do. And I think that's why the growth side of my business is fun, because I'm always finding something else to do. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
That's good.
It is. It's a real good business, real estate, because it is. It's the improvement game, isn't it? That's what I keep saying to my crew. I'm like, you just keep focusing on yourself, keep working on you, you know, and your people will naturally come, you know, especially because you're going to attract them to yourself as you become the person you know you can become. So how long have you been in the game for now?
About 6 years.
Nice, nice. And have you seen much change over that 6 years?
Seen the prices move.
Yeah. Yeah, true. You would have got started just before they went crazy.
Literally, I still remember my first sale was like $420K for like a 5-bedroom home in Loganlea.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I reckon that same house today would be like mid-nines.
Yeah.
So I've seen that change.
Nice.
Demographic, you know, it's all pretty much been the same in my area. I'm noticing a lot more owner-occupiers in my area. Like when I started, it was a lot of investors in the Logan region.
Okay.
And I think just through budgets being squeezed, it's becoming a bit of an owner-occupier now. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. All right. So when you were getting started, it was, you know, maybe door knocking wouldn't work for you if there was a lot of investors out there?
I was on the phones 24/7.
On the phones?
All calls.
Okay.
All calls. Anyone that knows me well knows that I built my business off cold calling, 100%.
Nice. So how many calls are you making?
Oh, now, not as much. Probably only like 50 to 100 a day, but I still think that's pretty
Only
good.
50 to 100 a day? Yeah, that's good.
Admittedly, that does include like some of like the follow-up calls, the important calls you got to make. It's probably only like 30 to 50 colds a day.
Yep.
But geez, when I was ripping in, it was like 300 to 400.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And that's where most real estate companies are. And I still think they live in that zone of like just hustling all day, you know. Obviously, I think the way that real estate's changing and the way the world's moving a little bit at the moment is trying to meet the sellers and the customers where they're at and where they want to be attacked and doing that well. But the phone conversation is still very, very important in this business. If you're not picking up the phone, you're not even in the game, are you?
100%.
So these investors, like, what are you talking to them about every day?
These guys love numbers. Like they're investors, and for the most part in my area anyway, they've got a few of them. These guys are very intelligent people. I've always found to crack them, feed them with facts. Don't give them the real estate rubbish because they've heard it a million times before. They've been in the game longer than I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, be real with them. Nice. They actually really appreciate real. That's what I find.
Definitely. And the investors that are buying in that Logan area, where are they? Where are they coming from?
Sydney, Melbourne.
Really?
For the most part. Yeah. We do have a couple here now, but when I started, it was probably like 60, 70% from down south. Okay. Starting to shift a bit. People are starting to get more properties closer to home. Yep. Which is cool, but still a lot down there.
Nice. So you, at the start, you hit the phones, and where did you get the data?
Price Finder. White pages. You know, like the old school ways.
Yep.
I was a pen and paper guy. You know, I would just call 07, 04, doesn't matter. Call them and find out if that person is the person that you think it is. Yep. The rest, figure it out from there. Like my main goal was to see if this person's number was real. Cool. And if it was real, cool. I got an alleyway to have a chat.
Perfect. So you're ringing these people, and then what kind of a journey do they go on?
In terms of
this, like, so the seller with you. So how do you, like, you meet them, the first call, then what happens?
Honestly, it's just relentless follow-up. Like
Awesome.
it's the same again. I had to find a really good balance point because same again with these investors, they're probably busy, right? You don't want to waste their time. You don't want to call them every day. But I found like maybe even once a week at best. Throw them that information. If you found something cool that was relevant to them, text it to them.
Okay.
Sometimes they wouldn't respond. A lot of my listings from investors were getting texts from me for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Never responded. Actually, I had one of my sellers call me up when he listed with me and he's like, I was about to report you to fair trading because you annoyed me so much. But when I was ready, I knew who to call, right? So give them the right information. I found a nice balance. You can't do it too much, eh?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you need to find that as an agent. And well, you're obviously, we've just meeting really for the first time. We chatted on social media, but you feel like a really good guy. Like you feel genuine, you know. Some agents, I feel like they don't understand when to be pushy and when not to be pushy, you know, and that can come across very desperate on the phone. And that is the quickest way for them to not want to speak to you. And I found a similar thing when I was in my major hustle in my earlier years. I was the same. I was relentless and I would never give up on someone just because they didn't answer the phone 100%. 17 times. Doesn't mean on the 18th time they won't.
That's it. That's it. And there's not many people in the world that are in real estate mode. And odds are everyone that you're speaking to isn't. But you're trying to just make them know who you are for when they are. That's how I see it.
Cool. How do you market to these people?
Honestly, because a lot of them are investors. I do a heap of social media advertising now. That's something I implemented in the last like 2-3 years. Before that, it was lots of letters, lots of calls. Honestly, it was the simple stuff. There's no golden bullet to this.
Building the relationship, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you add them on Instagram or do you like ask them to add you or how do you?
To be honest, no. Yeah. No. Like my work Instagram was only really a thing as of 12 months ago.
Okay.
That's a new addition.
Yep.
Starting to do that now. Don't get me wrong. A lot of clients are starting to follow me there.
Yep. Could
have been nice to do that a long time ago, but could have been nice to do a lot of things a long time ago.
Yeah, it makes it easier, I think, if they're ringing you for sure. And yeah, if your messaging is clear, I say it to the agents a lot. I'm like, what do you really stand for?
Yeah.
You know, like I knew what you stood for when I looked at your profile. Like you want to be the best agent in the Logan area.
Yeah.
You know, you're number one agent in the Logan area for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, like it's clear what you stand for.
100%.
You know, but I feel like a lot of agents, they just trying to get whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they're just all over the shop. You know, they're just trying to react and they don't really stand for anything.
It's very powerful to not want everything, I find. Like sometimes if you're given that off, you got to think as a seller, if you're seeing this guy that just wants everything and anything for nothing, you're going to start questioning that. Like, is this the person that's going to deal with my massive asset?
Yeah.
Why is he so desperate? I don't know.
Definitely. So do you turn away listings?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that because of the style of the property or is it in the wrong area or is it what is it?
Area doesn't turn me off, no way. I'll go anywhere as long as it's not a massive waste. I'll try and point people in the right direction if it is too far.
Yep.
It sounds very, very harsh, but sometimes I don't gel with people. It's as simple as that. If we're not suitable to work together, it's such a harsh thing to say to someone. Don't get me wrong.
I love that you're saying it.
It's real.
Absolutely. Real. You got to pick them. I say to the agents all the time, like you definitely want the seller to feel like it's not just them picking you and a listing presentation.
Yeah.
Because if they feel like you don't necessarily need this listing, but you want it, that's a different mentality of like you just wanting the listing.
You're drawing them in that way by just almost pushing them back a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't push everyone back. That's not a thing. For the most part, I don't usually do it unless that person is hard to deal with. But yeah, you are right. Yeah. Not looking desperate for everything helps a lot.
Nice. So let's say you're on the phone to this investor who you've spoken to 3-4 times before over the years and they say, yeah, we're thinking about doing something. Where to from here?
I just work it backwards, to be honest with them, because it depends on their circumstance, right? If they live there, very common in my area, a lot of people need to sell and buy at the same time. So working backwards is a good thing. Like, don't get me wrong, was in terms of pushing people away. I literally had one this week where the guy wanted probably 250K more than what the house is worth. I told him we can do a lot of work to this house and bring it up to that number if that's what you want, or we can wait. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to waste your time and bring it to the internet, make you pay marketing. I'll tell you it's not there.
Yeah.
And that's based off results. And that person will probably come back to me.
Absolutely.
You just figure out what they need. Like if it's owner-occupier, work it backwards. If it's an investor, figure out what their goal is. They might want to buy another investment property of yours. Work it backwards from there.
Yeah.
If they want to retire, just see how much they need out of this property and be honest with them.
Nice. So your main priority in this moment is to figure out the why.
Yeah.
And then focus on trying to achieve that goal.
If you figure out the why, you can figure out who they are pretty well. Just by talking to them enough, you get a good gist.
Definitely. Then what do you do? What do you say? They say, send me a proposal or something. You know, what do you send them?
I'd flick them a full proposal, everything they need to know, costings, a little bit about myself, my results, a little bit of a price guide.
Yep.
Then they just get follow up. They'll get stuff from me 2 days later, a week later, 2 weeks later, 6 months later.
And what format do you send that proposal in?
Email.
Yep, cool. And do you do like different deals and different marketing packages, or do you say, well, this is the package I suggest for your property?
I have a standard package because I know it works, and that's what I'll tell all my sellers. Like I'll basically say like, hey, this is the marketing package that you've seen me off the back of. You've seen these results. That's why you've called me. If you want to do similar, we know this works. Let's do the same. We can always add things to it. Like I don't do a lot of newspaper advertising. Costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Doesn't really bring us the most benefit in our area. We can add that. Is it going to bring you benefit? Just as much as taking a couple things away, we can do it. Just makes the end result a little bit more unknown. So that's how I say. I do have a standard. We can work around it.
Nice. I'm asking you all these questions because like a lot of our viewers, they're up and coming and they're, maybe unsure about where to go when these sorts of situations happen.
Yeah.
So say it's a listing that you want, all right? And they say we're deciding between you and this other agent.
Yeah.
And this other agent is cheaper than you. Like where to from here?
From the bat, I encourage all of my sellers to talk to as many agents as they can.
Nice.
I want them to find out who's who in the zoo. And to be honest, I'm confident enough in my ability and my knowledge that they'll probably come back to me.
Yeah.
I encourage them to talk to people, and there's always going to be someone that charges less commission. You've got to show your worth. Simple as that.
Love it. Love it. Are you running by yourself at the moment, or do you have a team? Or
by myself, I've got a couple of VAs that just do the menial tasks in the background.
Okay.
I did have a big team, but dialed it back a little bit, looking to grow it again.
Okay, cool. Well, talk to me about your VAs. I'd love to know what they do for you.
They do a lot of just the menial tasks, like the email sort of stuff. They don't do anything where it's talking to my clients.
Yep.
I want that to be me. It's the stuff that no one would know what's being done. Sorting data in the background, for instance, sorting me cold calls, sorting my database out if there's a problem with it. A lot of like helping stuff. I want to be the guy that's talking to everyone.
Yeah.
There's too many people that outsource their work for that. I can pick up the phone and if I get a call from a VA or an overseas caller, I know straight away, and so does everyone else.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that's vitally important. People start to get busy, and then they try to get people in their team to do the work that they should be doing, and it's like no. Like you need to be the one, motivating the seller. You need to be the one negotiating the deal.
Yeah.
You need to be that person that. If there's an opportunity on the line here, you've got to be the one speaking to that person.
Yeah.
Because if not, another good agent's going to swoop in and get it. So I 100% agree with you there, mate.
Yeah.
The marketplace that you're in over there, like what is your goal? Like, do you see your area and want to just absolutely dominate that location, or do you feel like you want to expand? Do you want to change what you're selling? Like, what are your goals?
I don't really mind too much. My thing is I love what I do. I don't really care what area I do it in. Obviously, I'm very good in my area. I've done a lot of sales, but I go all over Logan. I've done Brisbane. I've done Northside. I've done Gold Coast. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just like the game that we're in. Admittedly, being number one is nice, but that's not my purpose. My purpose is just to make a good income, be happy with myself and what I'm doing, and call it a day.
Lovely. That's awesome, mate. So how do you seem very calm and composed. Where's that come from?
Trial and error. When I was a kid, I was a hothead. That's for sure. Yeah, I had to dial it back. I think it's just through speaking to people. Admittedly, I starting this gig at 19 wasn't the easiest. I had to basically convince people I was older than I was. Had to grow up a lot quicker than I had to. So I think that helps.
Definitely. Yeah, I was the same. It's tough when you're very young in real estate, but you do have an extra weapon, and that the others don't have. When you're that age, you don't feel the pressure as much, I feel. You know, like when you see like these 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds start real estate now, you feel like they've got the gun to their head like straight away because they need to make a sale.
100%.
Whereas when you're young, you're not thinking about that, are you? You're thinking like, all right, I need to figure this out. I need to meet as many people as I can, and let's hope something sticks.
Make mistakes. Like make as many as you can, because as long as you're willing to learn from them, mistakes are a good thing. At the end of the day, as much as it sounds backwards. 100%. You just got to get out there. So
6 years you've been in this business. Like, what's the hardest thing about this business?
I think the time's the hardest thing. I think in real estate, time's either your blessing or your killer. I think that's what drives people to either do well or fall out of the industry. And as long as you can figure that out, you'll be fine. You mean
time in the game, or?
No, I just think like your work-life balance. Like it's very easy for me to go home and do nothing right now. I don't have an employer that makes me clock in at 9 and leave at 5 o'clock.
For sure.
I decide that at the end of the day. That is a killer if you get lazy. But if you use it to your advantage, fair play. Like we can work 24/7. We know that. All the way up till 10, 11 o'clock at night. If you need an hour here or there to break it out, cool. If it keeps the train rolling, do it.
Definitely.
Don't take the mick out of it.
For sure. I love it. How old are you?
25, 26. Well,
yeah, this is your time to do that, because your 20s, like, you should just go for it.
Yeah.
You know, I believe, like, because when you start to get older, like I'm 37, 8, something like that now, and I've got 2 young children, so it becomes more difficult to really ramp it, you know, and I still go hard, but I'm like, in your 20s, you don't realize the amount of actual free time that you've got, and the amount of freedom that you've got to actually really take on this challenge. So, like, where does that come from with you? Like, why are you so motivated?
Sporting background as a kid, I probably put it down to.
Yeah.
I was a swimmer when I was a kid, trained bloody 2 times a day, every day, and I was very structured as a kid, because balancing that in school, and then when I finished school, I went into uni while starting real estate. Like, it was full-time uni, full-time real estate. I've always been someone that's structured. As soon as uni and school and swimming and all that dropped, and it was just work and whatever I wanted to do, it's actually kind of easy, to be fair, because my barometer was way up there. But yeah, as long as you can work your time out, do what you want, enjoy what you do, but still know you're putting in a good shift, you won't go wrong. Yeah, love it. Love it. Yeah. Such a great game, real estate, eh? It's good. It's a really good business. And I feel like when you become like, you right now feel like you're established. Getting there, almost. Yeah, you know how to make money now. Yeah. Like if you had to make X amount of money this month, like, you could do it. Yeah. You know, like, that's the thing about real estate. Like, once you figure this thing out, like, and you feel like you could do this anywhere now. Yeah. Because it's the formula sort of is what it is. You can definitely add features to it to make your life a bit easier and make your life a bit smoother. But, you know, there's some ingredients that you need. There's not many industries out there where you can do the same thing every single day and get paid more for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you really like it, dig in, because there's a lot of business out there for everyone. Yeah. Real estate is a very arguing game, I've found. Everyone likes to have opinions and get in each other's way, but there's enough for everyone. Seriously. Like, we can all do really, really well and get along. You know what Absolutely. I mean? Real estate can be a lot more wholesome than what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, I believe so as well. Like, I feel like I'm the same as you. I advise sellers to go and speak to other agents, and I say, like, you know, like, you should get multiple opinions, you know, and if you feel like there's someone that can do the work better than me, then you should run with them. Yeah, you know. But I feel like, you know, if you are fully committed and your marketplace feels that, and you are about that life of, like, improvement, I just feel like this is the perfect game. Yeah, real estate for that type of person. Yeah, but it's the person that, you know, like, is always like, oh, you know, it's too hard, or there's always something, you know, in their way. Yep. And there's always someone else's problem, you know. It's that mentality that you have to get yourself into, just knowing that you're going to be all right. Yeah. You know, we can make a million roadblocks for ourselves. I mean, with the amount of volume that we've got going on, there's a million things we can think of, but there's a million good things that you can think of as well. Like, I think in real estate, a lot of people get fixated on the things that go wrong when there's a lot of things that go right. Like, I've had plenty of deals that have gone sideways this week and outcomes that haven't been ideal. But when you're really deep at where I am now compared to where I was 6 years ago, I'd look at me now and go, that's awesome. I'd love to do that. You know, if you pick away the good things, there's a lot of longevity here.
Yeah, mindset. Yeah, got to get the right mindset in this game. What's then, like, every day you're using tools, you're using features in your database with your marketing. Like, what do you think your most important tool is that you use every day?
Me.
You?
I know it sounds so corny, but it's me and my phone. Like, my phone is going 24/7. I don't think there's any tool, any CRM, any software that can beat you on the phone to the owner of the home.
Yeah.
You can't top that.
Yeah.
As long as you get a connection there, you got to think, if you and I had this conversation right now and I put the exact same words in an email, it's not going to have the same effect.
Absolutely. No, I love it. I love it. Yeah, and you know, we're building a tech stack at the moment, and yeah, you could have all these things, you can have all these gadgets. It still comes down to the agent picking up the phone, building a connection, going over to the person's house, being a genuine human being,
100%,
and making sure the seller feels that, and you're good.
Text
you get paid.
Don't get me wrong. Text fantastic. It makes it easier. Yeah. Like, even when we were talking about calling before, years and years ago, when you're searching for all the numbers, it would take you a day to find the numbers and take you a day to call them.
Yeah.
Instantaneous now. I can get the list in an hour and call them in the next.
Yeah.
Text great, but I always just think people are first.
Absolutely. The Harcourts team is it feels like it's just growing, like boom, boom, oh, they bought another office. You know? Yeah. I'm just like watching these guys go, and I'm like, good on them.
They're doing really well.
Yeah, it feels like a huge environment there.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Super cool.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing that I've taken away from this business, I've only been at this Harcourts for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Just over. I've noticed that as much as it is a corporation when you look at it, because there's like 12, 13 offices or something like that.
Yeah.
It is still the family vibe. Okay. That's what I like.
And
as a business owner, that's second to none. You can't catch that. Especially when you start spreading across different offices, you tend to lose that a little bit. These guys have done a really good job.
Do you feel the competition?
Within the office?
Yeah.
100%. We've got some good high performers, but it's not toxic competition. It's if someone's above you, you don't even think about that. It's come up with me sort of thing. That's what I like. There's no I'm better than someone else, or this person's way ahead of everyone. It's no, let's all get there.
Nice. Love it. Yeah. Yeah. I always like to think about, you know, how businesses grow and how it feels for like the individual agent, you know. It might feel good for the office owner or the brand owner, or, you know, but how does it feel for that individual, you know, on their way up?
I always put it down as, like I was saying before about the owner, sometimes it makes a massive difference just to care. It's the same with the principals.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, these people, if I was a principal and had all this business that I work for, there's a lot of people that are making good coin for the business.
Yeah.
And it's not even about the money. You've got the culture that's been able to be kept through growing that much. That's super, super important. If they look after you, the people won't move.
Yeah, like what is the most important thing for you every day? Is it, you know, what do you go in for? Like what's the most powerful thing?
I'm competitive.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just to prove a point.
Yeah.
I want to see what's possible. And that's half the reason why I dropped the team back when I moved to Harcourts. I wanted to see what was humanly possible for me to do by myself.
Yeah.
Now I've kind of stretched the capacity. It's trying to build it again, but it's just the competitive side of it.
I was in a similar boat to you. I wanted to do it by myself. I got to a big number by myself, but I felt it just didn't feel right at the time, because I felt like, again, I felt very lonely.
Yeah.
You know, I was saying it to my mum at the time, I've just done like 9 open homes today, and I'm like, the market was tight back then, and I wasn't meeting that many people at open homes. So I felt like I'm just like Saturday, just like hanging out by myself, you know, and like no one on the ride with me, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I started to add people to my team and gave them their individual roles, my business exploded. But the key for you will be to make sure that everyone's in the role and doing them effectively.
Yeah.
It's not just having a team, it's having an effective team around you.
I always found when I had a team of 5 at my previous workplace, that was always under the impression of these people aren't being brought in to make me have less work. It's for me to do the same amount of work, if not more, but we're all chipping in more now. Like the employees or the associates or whatever, to add, not to replace. I think people go wrong there as well.
No, I love it. Love it, bro. Nice. Yeah. So what would you say to that agent right now who's maybe first, second year in, chipping away, feels like this is too hard basket, but just doesn't want to give in? Like, what would you say to that person right now?
Everything that you see, everything you work on is a 12 months delay. That, like, if you do 100 calls today and you do it every single day for 12 months, you won't see that for another 12 months, but I promise you it'll happen. Like, you just got to rip in every day. Believe in the system, it will come together. Like, you're silly to think that in a job where there's so many moving parts for you to get paid. You've got to meet the person, get the property, win the business, sell the property, let it settle. There's a long period there. And for them to start by not even knowing you, it's ridiculous. You've got to let so many people know who you are and what you're about. It'll come over time. Like, just consistency is king.
Love it, bro. Love it. Some really good points there today. Appreciate you coming in. Seemed like a really humble guy, and yeah, you're going to do well, mate.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.